We're back at the Renaissance Theater in Mansfield, Ohio, and folks, it has been a week. But please know, as long as we can create these videos and create them safely, we will keep doing our best to entertain you, to inspire you, and keep you company during these uncertain times. During these videos, we may ask you to donate, and if you're in a position to do so, we will be forever grateful to those who support us. But hear me when I say that's not the reason we're doing this. We ask because, like so many businesses in this country and truly all over the world, we don't yet know what the true cost of this pandemic will be. So if you can, donate to a worthy cause, whether it's ours or someone else's. Any help you can give is vital. If money is uncertain, there are other ways to help. Donate goods to a local food bank, give up some of that hoarded toilet paper to a local shelter, or sign one of the many petitions asking Congress for a comprehensive relief plan that includes the service industry, nonprofits, and arts organizations. We will get through this. And as long as we can, and as long as you let us, we'll be here. And as always, look out for each other. Now, so far, we've heard from a lot of great singers, but we're fortunate enough to have artists of all kinds in this community, and even here in the Renaissance family. So, for a haunting change, please enjoy a poem by local artist Jason Kaufman.
There are dozens of Ohio theaters just like this, arisen out of the new frontier, the exotic rush of native lands newly conquered by industry men. A Carnegie for each village, a John D. Rockefeller for each small town, who raised cities from the alluvial soil with a purse of coins tossed at the feet of migrants. I gloss over the brick and trowel, years of struggle to make ends meet, to tame this wild land. Irish hod carriers with scoliosis, gin blossoms of German descent, the countless poor who chased opportunity up from the already gutted hills of Kentucky. This theater was built in the post-war blur when capital unhinged from labor, those years of glut when everything sizzled and work was feckless and easy to come by, when a man could make a living polishing the same brass handrail every day, when a young woman could find work picking lint from the carpet of a grand staircase. All that luster is gone now, lost under decades of dust and global politics, though glimpses of the past are revealed to me in this place. Unexplainable moments like bits of meat caught in the ghostly sprocket of time, a swaying chandelier in the unused stairwell, or the far-off lonely whistle of the night janitor ringing in the empty corridor. It is now my job to tend the grand staircase and to polish every handrail. I make my rounds visiting the spaces that frighten and excite, the foot of the staircase where Ratner was murdered by a man in drag who avoided detection by timing his shots with the on-screen gunfire. A cheap wig and flower print dress stuffed in a trash can were all the authorities found. Sometimes I sit in the empty theater and listen as the spring-loaded seats raise and lower, and I imagine spectral children running from chair to chair, giggling, stuck here by some glitch in space-time to relive this eternal romp, while their ghost parents tend to pressing business in faraway offices. Or the blot of a man's face in the dusty projection window who watches over us as we work, the man we call Projector Pete, who died up there in a fire and became imprinted in the deeper space that intersects this space, an ethereal gif of a man staring out over the theater, hung up on a singular moment of joy, watching the audience, discovering the magic of film as Groucho Marx teaches them anarchy through laughter. I visit Pete in the projection room. I stand where he stood. I slide into his remnant like stepping into a boot print fossilized in concrete. I imagine the clicking of the film reel, the hum of the fan that cools the projector's bulb, the light of the film above the audience's head is a palpable stream in the dust-hung air. Dislodged from its home on the screen, its true dimension is revealed. I imagine the smell of grease and mineral spirits. Perhaps there is a broken film strip on the table that will need to be spliced, but it can wait. Everything will wait.
Thank you so much for that, Jason. Could you talk a little bit about your inspirations for that piece?
Yeah, I wrote it about probably 4 years ago. I was doing more maintenance janitorial work here, and I was working in the evenings a lot by myself, and I was actually renovating the projection room. So I was spending a lot of late nights here, and it can get a little creepy when you're here by yourself late at night. So I just started thinking about kind of the history of the place and who's been here, who's worked here, maybe who's died here. And that's the poem that came out.
So do you have any specific ghost stories? You mentioned Projector Pete, but has there been any other experiences that you've had around here?
Yeah, I've got a couple of good ones. I was working in a room downstairs in the basement, back in the catacombs, as we call them. And it's actually right below the ticket office. And it was about 11 or 12, and I heard Patrick walk in, who was the box office manager at the time, walk in. So I ran upstairs because I'd walked to work that day, so I just wanted to let him know that I was in the building. And when I got up there was nobody there. So that one was pretty creepy because it was distinct footprints walking across the floor. There was another time where I came in for Beauty and the Beast. I was building for that, and the piano was out on stage for rehearsals, and I heard, I was back there working, and suddenly I just heard this really slow, tapping on keys, and I went out and there was nobody there. So.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
So so outside of the Renaissance, how active are you in the local arts community?
I have been involved in running galleries in town, showing in galleries, running poetry, open mics, things like that. So pretty involved. Less so now since I have children and stuff.
So how has this whole experience affected the arts community and yourself? And obviously you have kids. I'm sure this has been quite the experience. On a personal level, definitely having the kids home from school a month early ahead of summer break has been challenging. Having to do math with them, which I can't do, has been challenging. I think just balancing all of that has definitely been rough, as well as just not having much to do at work. So absolutely. Do you have any advice for any artists around this time who are maybe having trouble tapping into some of that creative energy?
I would say that these are the times that make great art. So lean into that. It might not be a period of making art necessarily, but it's those experiences that sort of fill the reservoir from which art comes later.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here tonight, please consider donating. Call our box office, visit our website, or text donate 2020 to 55678. Give only what you're comfortable giving. Now, obviously, tonight's goodbye is a little bit different, and that's because Governor Mike DeWine finally put in place the stay-at-home executive order that we all assumed was coming. But as I said before, we are not going anywhere, literally. But also in terms of this show. 3 times a week, we're still going to bring you local artists donating their time and their talent, but because of the order, we'll do it remotely. So what you're seeing may change, but the mission is going to stay the same. Bringing local artists together to inspire, to entertain, and just to be here for you. Because even though we can't be together, we'll never really be apart. So take care of yourselves and take care of each other.